or just a funny guy who became a YouTube star. Street Fighter's been around ages. Hell, it was around before I was even born. Street Fighter is the fighting game. You know, when you think of a fighting game, you got Mortal Kombat, Virtual Fighter, all these other fighters, King of Fighters and everything. But everybody and their mother and father and granddaughter and whatever other thing they have in their family knows what Street Fighter is. So when Street Fighter 4 gets released, everybody wants to know how it is. And today, I'm going to give my opinion on Street Fighter 4. Usually fighters don't really rely on the story to do anything. They're basically just there to carry on the arcade mode or story mode of that character. In this game it's no different. Basically this guy named Seth, or I don't know if it's a guy, really more like it's a monster. What I like to call him is Silver Surfer from Fantastic Four. And basically he is trying to conquer the world as most bad guys like to do. And we have to stop them. Picking a different character will give you a different intro and an ending for each character. So if you're into seeing anime cutscenes, you get that. And the story is decent in terms of a fighting game. And since it is a fighter, it doesn't really emphasize on the story much. So it's not really fair if I take too many points away. So the story is decent for what it does.
Still no use. Return it all to nothingness. Master.
The graphics are great in this game in my opinion. Everything feels like a 2D fighter, but everything looks 3D, including the backgrounds, the fighters, the finishers, and some special moves you can pull off in the game. So everything looks great. You also have the anime cutscenes for the beginning and ending as I mentioned, so that's good too. And the animation wise it's not too bad. Nothing amazing, but it's good enough. The actual graphical style is great. The water paint effects kick ass. Overall, Street Fighter is an amazing looking fighter. I start off by saying I am not a huge fighting fan. I am not a fighting elitist. I am just playing this as a casual view. So any elitist fighting fans, from Street Fighter to any other fighting fan, do not get mad if I say I do not like a certain portion and you do. Let's start off with Street Fighter. It is made for both, in my opinion, casual and hardcore gamers of the fighting genre. I personally, when I first played it, was overwhelmed right away. I am not a huge fighting fan. The AI is whooping my ass on easiest, and I'm like, holy shit. I calmed down, of course, went to challenge mode, and I learned the moves slowly. Once you learn the moves, you start picking up what Street Fighter is. Basically stringing along combos to do beautiful finishers, and it's all about timing and how your opponent reacts. Once you get into the versus mode, this is where Street Fighter gets better. But let's hit the arcade mode first. As I said, you start off with a character, you get his intro, usually a cutscene. It's always a cutscene, an anime cutscene, and there's an ending cutscene for that character. You do, I believe, 7 to 9 levels. I don't remember the exact number. And at the end, you fight Seth, the most annoying fucking AI in the universe that should have been a Ninja Gaiden 2. Why? Because Seth likes to pull the little fuck you button on you. When you're doing a beautiful combo and you can just fuck him over in one hit, all of a sudden he goes into a pissed off rage mode and basically whoops your ass across the fucking screen, and he actually has a special where he sucks you in and throws you at your own screen and you lose. That is a terrible finisher and makes you feel weak. If you are able to beat Seth, you'll find the arcade mode good for practicing. The real game comes in versing a human. That's what most fighters do. They're competitive versus human. This game has an easy do versus mode, one-on-one. That's it. You pick your character, your opponent picks their character, bam, you fight. You have plenty of characters to choose from. There's over 20 characters. I don't know exactly how many, but there's over 20. And there's, of course, to unlock characters, you have to do arcade mode. So there's another reason for arcade mode. Once you unlock the character you want, such as the cheap-ass Akuma. No, I'm just kidding. I know a lot of people like that. You can use Akuma or any other character, Ryu, Ken, so on, to fight another opponent. The fighting is done regular 2D style fighting, you have EX combos, super combos, ultra combos. And you have, of course, signature moves from the characters. Every character feels different, yet they have a lot of similar combos. But to pull them off, you have to kind of get the feel of that character itself, which is why I like Street Fighter. Playing as Ken and playing as Ryu, they may have a lot of similar combos, but Ken feels more like the aggressive type, Ryu feels more like the technique type. This may be different for every person. I am not an elitist in fighting, so calm down, elitist fans. This is just how I felt when I played as two characters. Basically, using different combos, finishers, and everything is all about timing. Timing is very important in Street Fighter. When you're a beginner like me, it's a little hard to get it down. But if you watch some great matches, you can see the timing and the perfect smoothness of combos looks great. So without dragging this on, basically Street Fighter is a great example of timing and combo. And if you get both of these down, Street Fighter is definitely your game. Really only negative thing I have to say is that the AI definitely needed some work. I mean, make your own AI, goddammit, Capcom. Don't just button lay it so every time I click a button he does something to react. That's some lazy ass AI work. If you couldn't tell, I actually enjoyed the gameplay quite a lot, and once you get the timing and combos down, it becomes a great and fun game to string along. And I had never really gotten upset fighting another person in this game. It's actually quite fun whether you win or lose to learn different combos. AI is a different story. The enjoyability is quite high here too. Not only do you unlock a bunch of characters doing, certain things to unlock them in arcade mode, you also can unlock titles and icons online and in challenge mode. Not to mention you also have online mode, which I almost forgot to mention, is basically you versus another opponent. Either rank match or player match, it doesn't really matter. Also achievements cater to both, which I really like. If you want to do ranked achievements, you can do that, but there's plenty of player achievements such as playing a certain amount of matches and also winning a certain amount of matches. There's always great things, plus unlocking icons and titles will also unlock achievements. So the replayability in this game is beautiful. Street Fighter is a perfect example of what a fighter should strive for, especially 2D fighters. Up their graphics in terms of the style of it, not so much making every 2D fighter a 3D fighter. 2D fighters are still working, they're still fun to play, so if you follow Capcom's example of making different styles for these 2D fighters, it can work out great. Add in the perfect online with almost no lag at all, you have a great 2D/3D fighter going on. So all in all, Street Fighter is a great game to pick up whether you're a casual fan of fighters or a hardcore fan.
KO!